a biting cold has gripped Europe. On November 24, 2025, the continent faces an extraordinary Arctic blast, plunging temperatures to historic lows. In Lapland, Finland, Rovaniemi shatters records at -42 degrees Celsius, the coldest November reading in 70 years. This isn't just a northern event. Frigid Arctic air is surging south, ending autumn overnight for millions from Scandinavia to Spain. The Bay of Bothnia has frozen over with 50 centimeters of ice, the earliest and thickest in decades, a stark visual of the cold's power. As winter 2025-2026 begins with rare intensity, we're left asking, what's driving this deep freeze? And what does it mean for the months ahead? Over the next scenes, we'll unravel the science, the impacts, and how to prepare for a winter that's rewriting the record books. The answer starts high above us, with the polar vortex, a swirling mass of Arctic air usually kept in check by the jet stream. This November, a rare sudden stratospheric warming event destabilized the vortex, letting lobes of ultra-cold air spill south into Europe. At the same time, La Niña in the Pacific is shifting global wind patterns, strengthening blocking highs over the North Atlantic and Scandinavia. These highs act like atmospheric roadblocks, trapping cold air over Europe and blocking milder Atlantic weather. The result? A perfect storm, weakened vortex La Niña, and a stubborn high-pressure system, plunging Europe into a historic freeze. This trio of forces is locking in the cold, making this November's chill both severe and persistent. Understanding these drivers is key to predicting what comes next. Let's look closer at how the polar vortex lost control. Picture the polar vortex as a spinning top, stable when strong, but wobbly when disturbed. This year, energy waves from the lower atmosphere jolted the vortex, thanks to the sudden stratospheric warming. The vortex stretched and wobbled, breaking its tight grip on Arctic air. Chunks of frigid air spilled south, flooding Europe with Siberian-level cold and shattering records. Arctic amplification, rapid warming at the pole, makes the vortex even less stable, weakening the jet stream and increasing these wild swings. Climate change is loading the dice, making extreme cold outbreaks more likely, even as the planet warms overall. The result? Europe is in the direct path of a displaced, icy lobe of the polar vortex, but the Pacific is playing its part too. La Niña, born in the Pacific, cools ocean waters and strengthens trade winds, sending ripples through the global atmosphere. This year, La Niña's influence is clear. It's fueling blocking highs over Greenland and Scandinavia. These highs block the usual flow of mild Atlantic air, instead opening a direct path for Arctic air to surge south. Europe's weather is now at the mercy of this Pacific-driven pattern. The result, a continent-wide deep freeze, with the blocking high acting as a refrigerator door left wide open. The interplay between the Pacific and Arctic is amplifying the cold. Let's see how this is playing out on the ground. The science above translates to harsh realities below. Lapland's -42 degrees is life-threatening, frostbite in minutes, daily routines upended. The Bay of Bothnia's early thick ice is disrupting shipping and maritime activity. The cold dome is spreading south, with much of Europe 10 to 15 degrees below normal, forcing a scramble for winter gear and straining energy grids. Even the Mediterranean isn't spared. As the jet stream dips, it pulls in moisture, triggering torrential rains and flood risks in Italy and the Balkans. One weather pattern, two extremes, deep freeze in the north, deluge in the south. The continent is in winter's grip, and the impacts are just beginning. What does the forecast hold for the months ahead? Long-range models predict this cold pattern will persist through winter. There's a strong chance of below-average temperatures across Europe, with the weakened polar vortex and La Niña remaining dominant. December will keep Arctic air locked over the north, with Lapland and Scandinavia facing lows near -30 and heavy snow. Central Europe should brace for repeated cold snaps and snow, disrupting travel and daily life. January could see the beast from the east return, drawing Siberian air across the continent and bringing blizzards and deep freezes even to the west. February's cold may ease slightly, but the risk of flooding rises if a sudden thaw hits frozen ground. This winter will be a marathon demanding sustained vigilance and preparation. Let's look at the real-world impacts of this deep freeze. The risks are real: hypothermia, frostbite and power outages as grids strain under demand and ice-laden lines snap. Transport is snarled, snow and ice disrupt roads, rail and air, with economic losses mounting. Yet the cold brings opportunity. Early ice roads open vital links for remote communities, turning adversity into advantage. The aurora borealis is putting on a dazzling show, with clear, cold skies and peak solar activity lighting up the Arctic night. Amid the challenges, there's beauty and resilience, nature's spectacle and human adaptation side by side. But safety is paramount. Here's how to prepare for what's ahead. Preparation is survival. Dress in layers, base, insulation, and a waterproof shell. Protect your head, hands, and feet from frostbite. Ready your vehicle winter tires, a half-full tank, and an emergency kit with blankets, food, water, and a shovel. At home, stock a 3-day supply of essentials and have alternative heat and light sources ready. Keep power banks charged for communication and avoid candles to reduce fire risk. Stay informed, use reliable weather apps, and heed official warnings. Don't travel unless necessary during severe conditions. Community matters. Check on neighbors and the vulnerable. With preparation and vigilance, you can weather even the harshest winter. As we close, let's reflect on what this season means for us all. The Arctic blast of November 2025 is a vivid lesson in nature's power and our planet's interconnectedness. A wobbling polar vortex and distant La Niña have transformed Europe, bringing both hardship and awe. The months ahead will test our resilience but also offer moments of beauty: auroras, snow-blanketed mornings, and shared stories. These events unite us, reminding us to care for one another and find wonder in winter's extremes. What are your most memorable cold weather moments? How are you preparing this year? Stay informed, stay safe, and take time to appreciate the stark beauty of the season. Together, we'll navigate this remarkable winter, embracing